Okay. So let's get started. So today what we want to do is we want to give you guys an advanced view of using Zap. So I'm sure many of you guys have already been on my basic Zap classes, which, we go through setting up your website, setting up a client, and setting them up with new listing alerts. So, what I want to do today is kind of just give you guys a punch list. We're going to go through first, starting with setting up custom pages for your website. So if you want to create any custom pages for an event you're hosting, maybe some stuff on the town, we'll take a look at that. Next, we'll dive into setting up a blog. How many of you guys have heard or used a blog? Has anybody out there ever used or dealt with a blog on your social media, your website, or anything like that?
No.
Who said yes?
Nellie.
So where were you getting your blogs from? Were you writing your own?
I use that company that does all the postings for me.
Okay.
And they do the blog that goes to my website. So if you go to
cool.
my website, you'll see a blog on there.
So if you have a blog that you're using, I'm going to show you, you can simply take that stuff and you can actually just copy and paste it so you can have it on your Zap website. So I'll show you guys how to do that.
Okay.
We're going to show you how to generate traffic and business to your Zap website. One of the things with Zap is there's so many different features in here, and one of the great things is, as much as we all embrace or don't embrace social media, I know, Nellie, we got you on the call today, you're a huge embracer of social media. And I don't even know if that's a word, embracer, but I'm making it up. And, the type of traffic that you generate from that is great. So now one of the things you can start doing is taking some of that stuff and maybe diverting them to your website, which will keep them engaged because, one of the great things about our business is that everybody loves to look and talk real estate, and whether you're, buying, selling, or never buying or selling again, everybody goes on a website and searches listings in their area. So why not make it yours? And there's a lot of other things like reviewing your showings that I'm going to show you that will teach you how to post online where customers will actually see as you go out and show properties, they see how busy you are. They see, your comments, and people like to read that, and it drives them to your website. As they start searching, they're going to register, which is going to drive a new lead into your CRM. Okay. So we'll look at some of that. One of the next things is setting up Google Analytics. How many people out there have a website that you use currently, or you have used in the past where you look at the data of the people who come? Have you guys ever done that before?
No. I can see it on Instagram.
Okay. So have you ever looked at the traffic and where it comes and where it goes? Do you use that data at all?
No, not really. Okay.
All right, so we're going to show you guys Google Analytics and how to read into it a little bit and understand what your customers are looking at and using. The next thing is we're going to show you guys there's a bunch of integrations, and one of the things that Loop is trying to create for all agents that use Zap is integrating with as many softwares as possible so it's a one-stop shop system for you. One of the greatest things about Zap is they're starting to link with systems like Loop and Gmail, which is something that we use multiple times a day, every single day. And now these can all be accessed right through your Zap dashboard, simplifying the process. So we'll take a look at that. And then we'll show you how to set up custom campaigns. One of my favorite parts about Zap is, so I'll ask you guys again, from a marketing perspective, how many of you guys have set up drip campaigns before to your customers, whether it's buyers, sellers, or just your CRM database?
Yep. Yes.
So, one of the things that you'll notice probably about the CRMs you guys set up are that they are graphics. It's an image. Maybe they click it, it takes them to your website. Maybe it's why use Rob D'Amico, the realtor, why use a Century 21 agent, why Century 21 is the best. Maybe you give them buyer tips, preparing to sell, but nobody responds to those. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So, the biggest reason is because we get all those. We get those from everybody. I go into my email. The first thing I have to do in my email is I got to delete emails from Target and Amazon and 1-800-Flowers and all these different places that just send you a graphic image. And what do you do when you see those? You just hit delete. But when you see an email and you scroll through your email box and you see an email that's an actual email, You respond. So the greatest thing to me about the Zap follow-ups are that they're actual emails, which is going to prompt a response, whether it's from your, from your clients or just somebody who's in your CRM that maybe you're just, doing a keeping in touch campaign and they email you back. But it prompts a response. It creates a conversation. And that's the biggest thing that you'll notice from these, from these analytics. Oh, I hear a dog and I'm working out of my house. Sorry. My dog heard somebody else's dog and now she's barking. Bella, quiet. So, sorry guys. It's easier to do these webinars at home usually. But so let's get started and kind of just dive in. And let's start with the first thing. And guys, feel free to jump in with any questions you have throughout this whole presentation. It's a small group here. No need to mute you guys. So please stop me at any time. So real briefly, so I see there's, 3 of you guys on the call, Robin, Nellie, and Stephanie. So real quickly, guys, have you guys all gone in and set up your Zap websites?
Yes.
I believe I have.
Okay. Stephanie?
Yep. Yeah, I have.
Okay, great. Have you guys set up any clients in there?
Yes.
Yes.
You.
Okay, great. So you've got through the basics. So now we can dive into a little bit more of the nitty-gritty of it. So let's do that. So let's start with custom pages. So one of the things is we're going to go up top here to where you see your name. We're going to click on that. And we're going to click on My Website, where you set up your website. We're going to hit View My Website. So one of the things that you have the ability to do is create different links for up top here as well. So you can see I created one networking night. Now, don't judge me on the look. It was a quick test. But you can see here, you can create a custom page for whatever you're doing. If you're doing an event, if you want to write up on a town, you want to create some statistic pages, whatever you're looking to do to bring more content to your website, you're able to do. You're able to create any pages you want now, and you can have unlimited pages. So what you can also customize is these buy and sell pages. Now, if you want to get into it, feel free to customize it. But I will tell you, their buy and sell a home pages really aren't that bad. I actually like them. So if you guys want to go through and set those up, you have the ability to do so, and I'm going to show you. But I do like the buy and sell a home page. So first and foremost, the buy and sell a home page. When we scroll down where you see content here, right at the top of the page.
Rob, I have a question for you. Sorry.
Yes. No, please.
You know how you have those buy and sell a home pages? Let's say you just want to market your sell a home page to attract maybe potential listings.
Yep.
How would I advertise that? Would I just copy the link, like when you press on sell, that whole link, is that what I would paste? Or
so here's the problem with marketing this, Nellie, is that you see here, it's using the corporate page.
Correct.
So because I came from my website when I clicked it, you see it's associating with me. But if I were to just take this link and post it online, it wouldn't drive traffic to me. So what you would want to do in that situation is you could literally copy and paste this stuff here, but create it as a custom page on yours.
Custom page, okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? So what you would do is you would just simply copy and paste this data here and create a custom page under here.
Ah, okay.
Or you could do it under this buy and sell. But what you would do is you would defer from, by hitting this here, buy a home, I would click this radio button, customize page, and then I would set up the page, and I would basically be building the page by just copy and pasting from that corporate site here.
And that would go directly to our website, right, Rob?
Right. If I create the custom page, that's something I could then turn around and market on social media.
Okay. Got it.
Make sense, Nellie?
Yes.
Okay. And guys, like I said, please stop me at any time. So let's go along with that. So you have About Me, which you typically have already set up. But now let's click Buy a Home. So you would choose to customize page. So it's just telling you want to make sure you set this stuff up. So I'll hit understood. Now I could go in and put a banner image. So I could literally come here and copy and paste this image. Banner text. That would be this right here, selling advice. So let's just create this real quick. So let's take. So we're going to save the image. So now we go to our website. And we're going to hit display banner. And we're going to upload a banner. All right. So I'd have to mess with that image a little bit. So we're just going to take one I have here. So now we've got a banner. I know it doesn't look great, but we're just setting it up. We'll hit the pencil here. Selling advice. And I would just keep going through. So now I could put in more info. And then you would also link this. So if you have your blog, I could link this to my blog as well. So when they see the page, they'll not only see the content that I'm creating, but they'll also see my blog. Make sense, guys?
Yep.
So now that I change that, takes a minute to upload. But that would update your website for Buy a Home. You could do the same thing for Sell a Home. We won't go through and bore you guys, but you could come up and customize that under Sell a Home as well. And then you also have custom pages. So custom pages is where you can create, you know, a whole slew of different pages on whatever you want to create. So Nelly, if you want to create something on NAREP, you can. You know, and all you would do is hit new custom page. You would add a cover photo. Put NAREP. And then I could put all about my NAREP here. You can put images in here. So if I want to drop an image, so if you had something that someone created, you could put an image. You could put hyperlinks. So if I wanted to say, you know, visit, you know, robnarep.com, I could turn that into a hyperlink just like this. So I can have them linked to pages. I could drop in an image. So let's say I had, you know, something I wanted to do an image on. So let's just say, you know, this flyer here. So now, if I do something like that and hit preview page, you can see it's that graphic through the whole page. So if you want to create something a little bit more, you know, laid out, this is how you would do it. You know, you'd create just simply a graphic, and you can have text in there as well. So these custom pages, you know, I will say they're not the most advanced yet, but they are working on what we call HTML. So if you work with a web designer or you work with a company that provides you HTML code to create, you know, a simple page, that is going to be incorporated in here sometime over the next 6 months, I'm told. So I have an agent, for example, that's looking to create a custom, she has a custom get a value on your home tool. She wanted to incorporate it here. So right now they have to direct it to an external page, but once we can put HTML in here, she'll be able to embed that right on her own website.
So Rob, the one that's on our webpage that Jim showed me the other day, and I put my address in, and then I got within 25 seconds what my home is worth. Is
Okay,
that,
so that's for our corporate website. That has nothing to do with Zap.
but I could actually, if I wanted to, I could buy something on my page, something similar to that, correct?
Correct, yes.
Expensive though, right, Rob?
Most of them, they're pricey per month, you know, and
Yeah.
if you can drive traffic to it, it's great. You know, it's like anything on a website, and that's what you run into with websites, is the fact that simply agents just don't promote the tools they have.
Right.
So, you know, you have a website with all these great features, you know, I mean, really, even if you look at our website, there's so many things that, you know, that we're going to talk about today even, you know, we talk about advertising your site, you know, that agents aren't doing. I mean, simply going and putting your website, just taking your simple link and going to Facebook and promoting to search my website for, you know, up to the minute listings, you know. So it's things like that that, you know, you absolutely should be doing that agents just don't do. So the more that you engage your clients on social media, the more beneficial that stuff would be. So for example, Robin, to go back and answer your question, you know, if I were using that home evaluation tool, you know, what I would want to do is promote that home evaluation tool by simply creating a simple link on Facebook. Click here to get a free price opinion on your home.
Yeah, great idea, Rob. Yep.
You know, here's the home value estimator. So I would simply take this link here, go to Facebook, get an instant price on your home today.
Yep. Awesome.
So now I share this. What happens is now these people are going to click on that link. So now, whether it's 50 or $100 a month for that tool, well, now that provides value because now I'm driving traffic to it. The problem is most agents just buy this technology, put it on their websites, but don't promote it unless they talk to someone.
They don't follow up. Yep.
So it's all about the follow-up with it. So, I mean, any of this stuff can be successful. It's typically the follow-up that sets this stuff up to fail. Make sense?
Yep.
So, you know, those are custom pages. You know, they're pretty simple. They're very basic, guys, but it's good to start building out. You know, the other thing it's going to do for you is it just creates more SEO to your website. So, for example, Nelly, if you created something on NAREP, it's just more places that you're going to have Nelly Soto out in the Google world affiliated with the word NAREP. So, you know, as people start to search this content, this will be a page that starts to show up on Google. So, you know, the more pages you guys can create, the better value you'll get out of your website traffic as well.
Question.
Yes.
You said the HTML world may be coming onto Zap in 6 months.
Yep.
Any way of linking, like if you do podcasts to your Zap site, or no, that's not?
Yeah. So where do you host the podcast now? Let me ask that question.
YouTube.
Okay. So what we could do is, so on your website, you can have one video.
Okay.
So you could have your latest. So if we scroll down on the setting up page, so Nelly, if I went to your name and clicked on my website, I could scroll down here. Let's find it. It's here somewhere. Okay, so under About Me, you'll see here, you'll see your video. You can have one video on here at a time, so you can only have one at a time. But what you could do, Nelly, is maybe have a quick image created, create a custom page, and then have the hyperlink to your YouTube page within there. Or
That makes sense.
what you could also do, just to give you a quick tip, what's it under, Nelly Soto?
Yeah, go to Nelly Soto, see if it comes up. That's that RLS company.
So where's your,
It should be on there, no?
the only videos I see
On
are,
the property.
yeah. You might
but
have to,
You could also link those videos to your site if you wanted
Okay.
to.
so are they these ones, Raphael?
Oh yeah, that was an interview we did. Mhm.
So what you want to do is, and we can talk about this, offline, Nelly,
Mhm.
and kind of come up with a plan for this, but where do you put these? Like, do you have a channel for these?
No.
Okay, so what I can do is show you, how many of these do you think you have?
Probably like 7.
Okay, so what we can do is, if you call me offline, I'm going to be up in Salem on Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. I could meet you up there and kind of just talk a little bit about this. So what we could do is you would just simply take this link. So I could go to create a custom page, and I could say, watch my podcast on home buying. Now we could obviously make this a little prettier. I'm just doing this quick. What I would do is I'd highlight this. I can hit the hyperlink button here, and I paste that link and hit save. And now anyone on my website who clicks watch my podcast on home buying, it takes them right to this video.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
So you could create like an image, like home buying seminar. So I could show you how to lay it out a little bit. I'll be honest, it's not the best layout. It's not, but it works. It does the trick. But for all the other stuff you get off the site, it's totally worth it. The pros totally outweigh the cons on this.
Okay.
So there is a way we could do that. But what we want to talk about, Nelly, is kind of getting that stuff, and we can even share it to your page. So what we could do is we can take this here, and if we log into your YouTube account, we can literally add this to a playlist under your account.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different than what we're talking about today, but I can take you through that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm sure I can find a YouTube video, so don't worry.
Yeah, but let me know. I can help you with that.
Okay. But the original question was, you could put one video on your website.
Correct.
For now.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Any other?
I have a question. You know how you go all the way down and you have your links down here?
Oh, yep.
At the bottom, like Facebook, Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So social media, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, Google Plus. So I don't think I have a Google account set up for business.
Okay.
I know you're going to be talking about Google later on.
Mm-hmm.
But do these automatically link to our account, or we click it and link it to the account? I mean, I don't use it with Zap.
Yeah, so you would click it and link it to your account. Okay. I don't use Google Plus at all, to be honest with you. All I did was create.
What is it meant to be?
What'd you say, Nelly?
What is it meant to do, the Google Plus?
It's kind of like, I think Google was trying to get into the social media market a little bit, but it really never panned out. So Google Plus is really just, I'll take you to it real quick. So it's really a social network.
Um,
Yeah.
So, what I recommend to do is just to create an account only because Google's the king of the world. What I did is go in once, set up your account, and then don't bother with it. If you start to do like a social network tool where you're posting from, one account to 15 different accounts, then you'd add it. But really, the only reason I'd recommend really taking advantage of it is because Google runs the world. So that when someone Googles Nelly Soto, it's another profile that's going to pop up. So as long as you have your contact info, your website, things like that, to me, that's the most important thing about it.
Okay. So, and I don't want to get you off topic, but
No, go ahead.
For us to be relevant on these social media pages, where do you think that we should definitely be more proactive? You think Facebook, LinkedIn?
So to be honest with you, I would say my top 3 right now would be Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Okay.
To me, those are the top 3. I think Instagram is one of the ones that's really come on strong. I've learned recently that I must be old because Instagram's is the new Facebook, and kids don't log on to Facebook anymore. It's all the gram.
Yep.
So, and this is where that generation of home buyers is coming from. The new home buyer grouping, they're coming from the social media stuff. So I'd highly recommend take advantage of Instagram. I think Facebook's great, and I think LinkedIn's great for professionals.
Hey, Nellie, I just Googled you, and your Century 21 Northeast page came up second. So you're right up there. I mean, the other one, first one, hold on one second, was something in Drake, Massachusetts. That's odd. Oh, there you are. It's actually your website again, your Century 21 Northeast website.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Listen,
That's great.
The question I have for you guys on the call, do you guys have Pinterest?
What is it? Pinterest?
Nah.
So, Pinterest to me is one of those things that, it's kind of like an ancillary thing. If you're getting into and you're driving like that home decor type of thing, it's not a bad tool to build out. To me, it's not a priority though. It's one of those extra things that when you have the time to maybe build a little bit more to your business and add another layer to it, Pinterest is good for like a home buyer or even a home seller or even a database marketing tool to say, hey, check out my Pinterest for great home tip ideas, home decorating tips, things like that. It may be good for that, but I don't think it's driving you a ton of business, and I don't think it's driving you a ton of brand awareness for yourself. But I think it's something you can look at when you've got some free time that you could add as a layer to your business to have some of those resources, and add maybe like 10 decor tips a week, maybe add 10 recipes a week. I don't know. And it's more of just branding and stay in front of them. But I don't think it's something that's necessity, and I don't think it's something that would be first on my priority list. Make sense?
Yep.
Any other questions? No? All right. Well, we will move along then. So we talked about custom pages. Let's get into blogging a little bit, guys. So we mentioned blogging, and blogging is a great way just to drive traffic to your website. So again, just like we set up our website, we're going to go up to the top here and click this little arrow down. And now we're going to click on blog. So blog's going to show me my blogs. So what a blog is really just an article, and it could be on anything real estate or non-real estate. It could be, it's Halloween. It could be something, pumpkin decorating tips for a safe Halloween, and the thing is it's got to be consistent, and that's where most agents with this stuff, I'll be honest, with social media and with blogging, where most agents fail is number one, they start it, they get all these people, and then they don't do anything. They do it 3 or 4 weeks. One of the big things is, our agents will, ask me to like their pages, you know, on Facebook and social media. And I'll like them right away. And you'll see activity right off the bat. But then what happens is 3 or 4 weeks after they start the page, the content, they stop posting. So you stop that brand awareness. You stop that. And when I say the brand awareness on all this stuff, guys, it's for you. You know, it's the agent brand awareness, because everything we're talking about today is all agent promotion. So, you know, it's the agent brand awareness. So, you know, to me, one of the things, if you're going to commit to doing a blog, is to commit to being, you know, continuous with it, you know, be diligent with it. You know, maybe you're not posting one every week. Maybe you're doing one every other week. Just set a goal and stick with it. Don't just do it 2 or 3 times and say, well, I got nothing out of it, so I'm on to the next thing. It's a branding thing. It's not something that drives instantaneous business. It's another way to pop up on social media with some content that some of your Facebook followers or Instagram or whatever followers may be interested in, and they may click on it. But worst case scenario, they're at least going to scroll by, see your name, your face, and something associated with real estate, which reminds them that you're a realtor. And that's the goal. So, you know, there's a bunch of different services out there, you know, but you can just simply come in here and kind of search real estate blogs to get idea. You know, I'm a big Google guy. So you can kind of come in here and just kind of look at, you know, some different blog ideas. You know, you can follow them. They'll give you different stuff to post. But if you have something like a RLS 2000, you know, or a Riz Media type of account, you know, what you can do is simply take those blogs. So we actually have a blog. And they actually don't work directly. Is Nelly. So they actually don't work directly with our website, but what we do is we actually go in and post blogs through this tool we have. So you'll see here, home selling superstitions. What we do is just copy and paste.
Can we do the same, Rob?
You can.
Okay.
So all we do is we get the blog through one of our social media sites. We simply take it off our Facebook page. So I would go here, and we're going to hit write a new post. So we'll add my cover. Hopefully it'll be the right size. Nope, of course not.
While you're working on that, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
I know that some colleagues have a designated person they hire to do their social media and their social presence.
Yep.
What tools do you recommend for those of us agents that don't want to have someone on our payroll to run the social media?
So there's a couple different ways to look at that, Nelly. So let me come back to that. I'm going to come back to that in 2 seconds. Let me get through this, and then I'll answer that question. So what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm simply taking the content and just copying and pasting it over. Once I'm done, I hit publish. I'm going to put it under seller advice. You can see I can put it under cities and neighborhoods, trending news, home improvement, and I hit publish. And there's my link. So now I could copy that link, go into Facebook, and paste my blog for today. Check out my new blog on seller superstitions. And now you see it puts the blog right there, brands you, and we're all set. So, you know, if you create that continuous flow of blogging, you know, you'll start to get good content on your website, but you'll also start to engage your customers to click on your site and go to your homepage more frequently. So it's a great way to have stuff on your social media driven to your website. Make sense, guys?
Yep.
Okay. So let me come back to Nellie's question now. So because we're going to talk a little bit about social media, so we can just dive right into it. So, you know, Nellie's question, you know, with what do you do to tackle this social media as really as a one-man show, right, Nellie? Or one-woman show, I should say. So, you know, there's a lot with social media, you know, and there's a lot of work. So, you know, most people are using services like RLS 2000 and Riz Media to automate their social media, which to me, I can tell it's not personal.
Right.
You know, and I can see into that. So I'm just going to pull up someone that I know uses it. And I just want to show you guys. Leave this. Yeah, see, he's got some personal stuff here.
That's pretty personal.
Yeah, right. I think he's got a. I think he's got a business page, so we're gonna look. Oh, there it is. That's why. So when we look at the business page, you'll notice that he has a lot of these things posted, but it's the same.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying, guys?
Yeah, not informative, a little boring. Yep.
But it looks the same.
Yep.
So what happens is people don't click on it after a while. It starts to just kind of dissipate. You know, so you want to have a mix of not only blogs and links, but interaction, you know. So to me, really the way to handle it is to have someone, whether it's you or someone working with you. So, you know, one of the things that I want to talk about is, you know, the task that we're faced with is we have a lot of different social media sites that we need to work with, but it's too much time. So the first thing that I recommend, Nellie, is getting something like a Hootsuite, which basically you're going to link all of your different social media accounts, whether it's Google+, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the different social media accounts, even YouTube. And when you make a post, you select which networks you want it to post to. So one post hits all of my networks.
Okay. Now,
the other thing that you have the ability to do with it is a schedule. So it might be something that you dedicate an hour or two a month to, and you set up your whole social media campaign. So let's say you're setting up to October. Well, maybe on October 30th, you have a, you know, something post on safe tips for trick-or-treating. Maybe on the 31st, it's, hey, just want to wish everybody a happy Halloween. You know, maybe the week before you have something on, you know, raking leaves, getting your, you know, the most out of your yard. Maybe you have a vendor you work with that's a landscaper. Maybe you promote his business on there. You know, you start to tie stuff like this in, but it simplifies it so that you're able to go in there once a month, but it has to feel personal. And I know all of you guys out there are on social media in some form or fashion. And I know you scroll through the addictive timeline that we all get sucked into, you know, scrolling down. And you can tell the posts that are authentic. You can tell the posts that you can interact with. You know, to me, one of the biggest things is this should be some, to me with social media, I think some of it should be personal. You know, whether it's about something like a great family fun weekend, you know, enjoying time with the family. I'm not talking about posting what you're having for dinner and things like that. Just a little bit of who's the real Rob D'Amico. Just a little taste. Yep. Because then it looks like your system isn't just an automated business account. Because I think people are onto that now. So I think the day and age of having something like that RLS just post for you, I think that takes away really from what social media has the power of doing, because I think people in this world now have caught on to what is automated and what's a little bit more human aspect to it. So, you know, to me, one of the biggest places to start, Nelly, is getting a system like a Hootsuite or something to simplify that process for you.
What's roughly the cost, Rob, on Hootsuite? Any idea?
I can tell you.
Oh, that's all right. We can look it up.
Oh, it's right here. So,
Okay.
10 social profiles runs you about $30 a month.
Okay.
And that lets you do everything.
Wow, that's cheap.
But there's some other ones out there as well. I know Rachel just switched us. I don't know what she's using now. We can find out. But you can reach out to Rachel up in corporate. And she can let you know what she's using now, because I think she actually likes it better than Hootsuite. But I used Hootsuite for years and it worked great. So, but it just simplifies all that posting for yourself, and it allows you to be a little bit more personal, because I think being personal is so important when it comes to social media. Does that answer your question, Nelly?
Yes, it does.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys. So let's move along. So the next thing we want to talk about, let's talk about Google Analytics next. We'll save the marketing part for the end. So let's talk about Google Analytics. So Google Analytics is basically tracking software that Google provides everybody for free. So, you know, one of the biggest things is to know details about your website. You know, and with that being said, Google Analytics is going to do everything for you. So you guys are seeing a site that I track right now. So you can see maybe right now, active users just changed from 11 to 12 and back to 11. So this actually tells me how many people, up there it is at 12 again. So this actually tells me how many people are on my website actively right now. I have 12 active people searching homes on my website right now. I can see that my average time is about 2 minutes and 59 seconds, which is about down about 10% this week. I can see I've had 10,000 sessions opened up. 8.3 thousand users on my site in the last 7 days. That's up 19.2%. Where did my business come from? Social media, organic, direct, email, other. I can see where it's coming from. What's my trend? What time do users visit my site? You know, what's the best times to be on my site? You know, this is another great tool, guys. So, you know, you just want to take these analytics and use them. Don't overread into it. Don't drive yourself crazy. It's just an agent website. But, you know, for example, looking here, the hot times, I can kind of see what the best times a day on my website are. So if I'm posting to social media, and let's say I'm using a tool like Hootsuite, where I get to choose, and I'm scheduling, I get to choose what time I'm posting to my website. Pick a time where your site's most busy, because that's when a user's probably online. So you're now targeting your social media users at a peak time, so you're not falling at the bottom of their, you know, Facebook timeline. You're right there front and center at your peak times. You know, what pages do they visit? You know, if you create a custom page, maybe you advertise a custom page. You know, maybe you advertise a page for, you know, a first-time homebuyer seminar. Let's say you create a first-time homebuyer custom page. Well, you start posting that through different social media sites, and you advertise it through email and whatever. You would now be able to see, how many page views did I have on that? Let's say you actually took the next step and you actually paid for a little Facebook marketing. I'd actually be able to see how much that cost me in Facebook marketing. So I spent $5 to drive 400 people to my page. You would be able to actually physically see that data. So that's just a little bit of what you guys can track on here. And that's usually what I look at typically, is just kind of this homepage. You know, you can dive more into it. You know, I can see where people are coming from. I mean, there's so much in here. This is a class on itself. I recommend taking, if you're really going to get into the analytics, take a class on Google Analytics. But it's, you know, when you start getting into a lot of this other stuff, it gets beyond my expert advice for you guys. So, how do we set up Google Analytics? So first, what we're going to do is we are going to click on admin. And when you log in, the best way to find Google Analytics, guys, is with Google itself. So this is how I always get to the page. I go to google.com and I type in analytics. And that's going to be what pops up right here. So if it's your first time visiting Google Analytics, it would have you start a page right from the beginning. But because we've already created a page here, I'm going to have to create a new one, which I can do under admin. So I'm going to just do create an account here. So now it would ask me, is it a website or a mobile app? So I'm going to choose a website, and we can just put Rob's Zap site. That's my website name, Rob's Zap site. Now I would put the link in here. My link would be the link right on my website setup page. So if you buy robdamico.com, for example, and you go out and buy your own domain name, when you're setting up Google Analytics, you want to make sure you're using the My Website URL here. So I copy and paste it. And I paste that right here. You're going to want to change this to HTTPS. You'll notice under your website page that it's a secure site. So you'll see right there, it's got HTTPS right in there. To give you a little reminder. You would then select a category. And I can scroll down to real estate and select my time zone. And then I hit get tracking ID. As always, we accept this stuff. We never read it. And now you'll see at the top, tracking ID. All I need to do is copy this link right here. And then on my website setup page, I'm going to go all the way to the bottom till I can't scroll anymore. And you're going to see website tracking. All I am going to do is I'm going to paste that code in there and hit save. Now that account is on my Google Analytics, and over the next 30 days, it's going to start tracking the data on my website. Questions?
You said next 30 days. Does that mean in the next 30 days you have to do it again?
Nope. All that's going to do is it takes about 30 days, up to 30 days to start to really see like data results, because it takes time for, you know, Google to get in there, pick it up, and then start tracking your stuff. So you should see results within, you know, a few days once you add that link, but you really won't see much data, especially if you're not driving traffic to your website. But if you're driving traffic to your website, it'll take about 30 days to really get true data, because it needs to compile this stuff for a month to start to create the comparisons.
How can you connect your personal site to your Zap site? What's the best way you recommend?
What do you have for a personal site?
Just like www.nellysoto.com, and only the blogs go on there and some listings. And that's through RLS.
Okay, so with the RLS, you know, realistically, so what you want to do really is you want to kind of just move over to Zap fully. So right now you're running 2 websites, which isn't helping you. So really what I would recommend is taking Nelly Soto and having it point to your Zap website.
Okay.
And then if they continue to do your blogs for you, you would just simply copy and paste these blogs. That would be the best way, because now you have everything under one site. You know, RLS 2000 isn't bad, but the features in the back end that Zap provides you, to me, is much more convenient.
What's the cost, by the way, Nellie, on RLS?
It's $50 a month.
Okay.
hmm I know that there's another competing entity that I think C21 Northeast is working with.
Yes.
Yeah. And I haven't been able to compare them, but I've considered, looking at it to eventually transfer over or figure that out.
So that's Riz Media, and that's the one that if you want some of that automation, I would recommend, because what they'll do is they'll just post to your Facebook. So simply what you would do is you would kind of take this, this website here and move it over to here. Then what you would do is you'd sign up with Riz Media and they would feed to your social media accounts. And then you would simply just copy and paste those blogs into here, which realistically, once you copy and paste it, Nellie, it's really a 2-minute process. It's because they're giving you all that data. So it's just a quick 2-minute copy and paste. And the 2 minutes to me is worth it as opposed to having 2 separate websites now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think it's just the time that it allows you to really grow your business. I think by having it on Zap, I think the customer end of Zap, I think it's a lot better. I think the customer pages, the detail pages for the listings, I think it's more informative, and I think it keeps people on your site. But I think as you start to promote it, I think you're actually going to start to drive more traffic to it as well. Make sense?
Another question, can the Zap have the capacity or capability to text clients yet? Or will that dot loop do that, or?
So you can. I'm going to switch gears for a second. And hang on one second, bear with me. I'm going to open up my mobile app. So texting is done via the mobile app. And hang on one second, I'm going to connect to you. Do you guys see my cell phone on your screen now?
Yep.
Okay. So if I go into a customer here, so let's click on Will. So you'll notice down the bottom, you see call, email, and then you see text. So I can actually text a customer right from here, and it's going to come from your cell phone number. And that would track everything in your notes here. So you can text them right through this app. If you have an iPhone, Siri actually connects with Zap. So I could actually say, Siri, text Will Weathers from Zap, and it would actually open up Zap. What you can also do on the Zap app now is if I hit these 3 little dots at the top right-hand corner, guys, you'll notice under there, I can share my mobile app via text now. So the capability on texting has come further with Zap than it has in a while. So they're getting there, and I think this feature here, I've been using this for my recruiting, and I have to tell you, I absolutely love the CRM side of it because of this app. It's really the app side. I love it. And the texting, the emailing, it keeps me in touch with everybody. I just scroll through my reminders and get them done. So does that kind of take care of what you would need it to do, Nellie, or are you looking for a little bit more functionality with the app, with the texting?
That's fine, but there's no program text yet, just that you can text from there.
Right now there's no bulk texting yet, and the big reason for that is because bulk texting it's kind of like spam mail. So they actually see that when you're bulk texting, like if you were to bulk text 50 customers, cell phone providers would actually start to see that like spam mail. So that's why I don't know what you'll see from really any provider on bulk texting. It's pretty tough. That's why you really need those, like, I'm sure you've seen like short codes and stuff where you get like the 55521. Any more questions before we move on, guys? Nothing. All right, let's keep moving along. So Next, let's take a look at some of the integrations with Zap now. So over on the left here, you have all your links. You guys can see my desktop again, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to go to the Zap store. So what you'll see here is you'll see integration supported by Zap. So you can actually connect your Gmail, Loop, Outlook, and DocuSign if you use DocuSign. So in order to set any of these up, you simply click Learn More. And up at the top, you'll see, for example, first, Link Gmail. So we'll click Link Gmail. I would select the Gmail I want to link to. I would hit Allow. And now what you'll see is, there's my email right at the top of my Zap website. So now I can check my Gmail right through Zap. And again, it's just creating one centralized space for you. Okay. So let's take a look at .loop. So for .loop, we'd hit Learn More. I would hit Link.loop. Oh. All right, bear with me. .loop doesn't like it. I keep unlinking these to keep doing them in trainings, and they don't. .loop doesn't like that. So, let's see if it lets me do it now. Link.loop. Okay. Well, it's not letting me do it, guys, because I have used it before, so I'll have to call .loop and have that fixed. But basically what you would do is just like we did Gmail, I would just sign in, select my account, and now my account would be on Zap. So now what would happen is, how many people have added agent insights? For example, a property review.
Where would that come from, Rob?
So if I do new property insight, this is if I went to see a property, Robin. So like, I'm going to hit 212. There we go. We'll just say this one here. So I'd be able to put these reviews in.
Okay.
The other thing that you can do is if your customer, let's go into a customer real quick. All right, I'm just going to disguise myself and create a quick. And this is where .loop becomes handy. Come on. So let's come in here and hit request a showing. So this is if my customer requested a showing. They requested a showing, and now we'll go back to my dashboard. There's my request. So now I'm going to go here. I'm going to view the request. I'm going to say complete showing. And we did it today at 1 p.m. I'm not going to put any reviews. So now I'm done. But now we're going to go back to the customer. And when I click on the customer, I'm going to scroll down to the stuff he's viewed. So if we scroll down, so there we see my showing. When your dot loop's connected, what you would see is a button right here that would say loop it. So all I would do is I would hit the loop it button. It would then open a window where it would have all my customers' data, but it would also pull in all the public record data and the code broke from the MLS listing. So what happens is it'll now create a package in .loop for you, the agent, to go in and actually have the loop created for you right on .loop. You would be able to select, mass offer package, mass listing package, whatever you were creating. But it would actually take all the data that you have in Zap and create a transaction in .loop for you. Does that make sense, guys?
Wow.
So I wish I could get in there. I'm going to work on that for our next training. I'll have to call .loop and get that straightened out. But it just simplifies that process of integrating different systems for yourselves. Any questions on that, guys? I know that's probably a little confusing because I can't physically show you right now. Any questions about that, guys? Is that something you guys would use?
I probably want to get trained on it a little bit more, Rob, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So that's a little bit on the tools. Let's see what else we have to talk about here today. All right. So let's talk a little bit about custom campaigns, and then we're going to wrap it up with kind of marketing your website through social media and some different tips and tricks for that. So the first thing is we mentioned at the beginning of the webinar when we were talking about campaigns, and a lot of us now, we use those graphic, the pretty images, but it doesn't prompt a response. Does anybody get response from those? Typically not. So, one of the things that I love about the campaigns in .loop is their actual emails. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually hit manage here. And I'm going to go to follow-up plan library. And from the follow-up plan library, you'll see we actually have a ton of campaigns already in here for you. So for example, if I click on automated plan for new leads, they get a welcome email. But look, it drops in first, height, client, first name. I hope your home search is going well. Now that you have an account on my website, blah, blah, blah. You then go down, you can see I have all these emails. I see you may be looking to move. Moving can be both fun and stressful. I'd love to help you enjoy more. But it's an email. Let me know what you're looking for if you have any questions about specific neighborhoods. You're actually interesting them in a topic. You're actually asking them for a response, whereas a lot of those other drip campaigns do not prompt a response. It's only branding. But with those emails, it's like an 18% open rate. And that's people who are opening it. That doesn't mean they look at or even saw you. This is going to get people to respond. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
I'll take that as a yes. All right. So you can come in here and you can see all the campaigns we have, and you can actually edit any of them, but you can also add your own follow-up plan. So if you want to create, for example, Rob's buyer follow-up. Description, buyer follow-up plan for all active buyers. You know, and then I can select who do I want to have it. Myself. I can select where I want it to go, who I want to get them. And now I would go through here and I would choose a script. So I could say, what's my method? You could have it be a phone call. The phone call would automatically pop up in your reminders on your homepage. So let's say you have a Buffini campaign. You know, Buffini urges you to call them every 2 months. I could automatically say, okay, my first one, on day 1, I want to call them. I can choose a script if I want. You know, I could just say, you know, client check-in. Now I add more. Now I could say I want to do an automated email. You'll see there's a ton of emails in here already. And I'll show you guys how to create your own emails as well. But you can see there's a ton of emails in here all ready to go for you. So there's plenty of stuff in here ready to go, and I'll show you how to guys create your own emails. But now you would just keep going through and say, okay, well, I want my email to go out 7 days after my call. And then I just keep going and adding steps. Make sense, guys?
Yep.
And now I'll just choose a couple of scripts so we have something. You know, so now I choose some scripts and I hit save. Nope. Self. Hot. Buyers. Now my plan has been created. So now I'll show you guys how to add it, but you'll notice that Rob's buyer follow-up is now on my list. If I go to manage, you'll see the follow-up plan library right here. But right here is where I can create custom emails. So I'd simply click on email script library. And from here, I would simply hit create script. We can choose who has access. It's an email. Subject. Let's get moving. For buyers who need to buy now. And then I would simply type my email. But what you'll notice in the email is right here, insert tags. So this here, I could say, hi, insert client's first name. Agent's first name. So it drops in my name. Is ready to help you buy your home. What are you waiting for? And now I could go back and I could say, okay, visit my website at agent website to get access to the best listings in the world. And it'll automatically do your signature. So you do not need to put a signature. So if that's all I have, I hit save, and now that is added to my script library. Make sense, guys? Any questions on that? Okay. So let's just go under contacts real quick and show you how to add this to a customer. So if I click on contacts, and go to one of my contacts. If I scroll down just a little bit, you'll see right down here, follow-up plan. I would simply hit add follow-up plan, and I'd see a list of them all right there. There's Rob's buyer follow-up. I'd hit select. Boom, Andrew's on my plan now. So now he's on this plan. Now, where the first was a call, Andrew would show up right on my dashboard. So I don't want to email Andrew. But if you were prompted for a phone call, guys, it would pop right up on your dashboard under reminders. So any questions on the campaigns, guys?
So Rob, we can still use the ones that they obviously just are easy enough to just click on. And
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
But, you know, you may want to create custom ones as you move forward
Yeah.
to really, you know, brand it to yourself. You know, maybe things like, you know, Nellie, you talk about the blog. You know, maybe you create some buyer emails where, hey, check out my YouTube page to see all of my podcasts with great information on buying or selling a home. You know, you could add that extra layer to promote what you do, because that's the big thing that's the biggest mistake. And we're going to go into marketing yourself now anyway, so it's good transition. But one of the biggest mistakes, and I mentioned this a little while ago, is that the agents don't promote this stuff enough. You know, you're out there doing a great, you know, podcast, and who's seeing it? You know, and that's the trouble. You know, we want your customers to actually see that stuff. So it's, you know, maybe it's having that link on some of your marketing. It's getting that stuff out there. So, you know, that's where this promotion really comes in. So what I wanted to do on Zap today was just give you guys an idea, kind of a bullet list of different ideas on things to post to social media marketing to drive traffic back to your website. Because one of the biggest things, you know, one of the biggest things that I've learned over time with this type of business is that we don't advertise. We create all these great things, but we don't market them enough, you know, and we run through the same thing as a company. You know, we don't promote it enough, and it's, you know, it's something that we struggle to do. So, you know, we start with basic things like your actual website. You know, when you go on, promote your website. Take this link right here and create a quick social media post. Check out my website for the most up-to-date info on buying a home. Search MLS. Everybody loves to go and search MLS. Talk about that. I'll give you guys the perfect line. Where are you searching right now? Zillow? Did you know that 18% of all Zillow search results are either under agreement or sold? Check out my website to get data up to the minute within the last 2 hours. We update every 2 hours directly from MLS. Promote something like that. Get them away from that crappy Zillow. You know, but you should be driving traffic to your website. You know, we go on here, drive them to specific pages. You know, maybe it's your YouTube stuff. But then the other thing is we create these property insights where you can actually review properties. So for example, let's say I go out and look at a property. Let's just find one in here. I'm gonna pull up something. So we're gonna select this one, 16 Buck Hall. This is a beautiful house. 829, it's got all the data there. So I'm gonna write a quick review on this house I just went and saw. Beautiful home with tons of land. Great as a family home and in the middle of nowhere, offers great privacy. Okay, so we write a quick review and we say good condition, needs work, open layout. Okay, so now I hit publish. So now that's been published right here, 15 buck haul. So if I hit view details, oh, so if I go to my website now, we'll see it here. There's 16 buck hollow. You can see it's contingent. So if I just click on this, it's going to tell me I'm outside my coverage area, but your review would show on here. So I could copy this link. Click this one here. This is in my coverage area. So you'll see your review right here. So what I could do is I could copy this link, go to social media, just saw this awesome condo in Medford. If you know of anyone looking in that area. And now I paste that link. So now it would have a picture of the property here, and they're going to click on it. So they're going to see your comments, and they're going to want to go look at that condo. The great thing about this business is everybody wants to look at and talk about real estate. That's the best thing about real estate. So you want to take advantage of taking the stuff that you're putting on your website, but then taking that extra step to go and post it on your social media accounts, because people are going to click those links, and that is going to drive organic traffic direct to your website. But once people see the way the property pages lay out, they're going to start to talk about your website to their friends and family and start driving traffic to nellysoto.com. Make sense, guys?
Yes.
All right. So with that being said, any questions? It's open question time, because that's what I have for you guys today.
So you recorded this though, Rob, correct?
I did, and I will post it to our training website when probably tomorrow morning.
Do you think, would agents be able to ask you questions after you've posted it to you directly?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody
Okay.
can reach out to me on Zap. Please encourage them.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of information, my friend.
It is, and that's why we recorded it for today. So I'm going to stop the share now. So we're stopping the recording. So does anybody have any questions before we wrap up?
I think I had one. Hold on. Let me look at my notes. Your Zap mobile app.
Yes.
Not the one that I use, but the one you share for clients to search on.
Yep.
Can you show me how to get that on my site?
Sure. It's already on your site. So let me, I'll show you a couple different ways.
Uh-huh.
So you see my screen again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure. So it's a couple different ways. So first, people can go right to your website, and it's right here.
Okay.
Another way, I'm going to show you a couple different ways. So bear with me. If we open up the customer,
Mm-hmm.
if I hit more, come on, more, right in here, share my mobile app link.
Mm.
But I'm also going to pull up my cell phone here for you, because I find it much easier on the cell phone.
Okay. That's probably what I would use.
Another way, Nelly, is if they go, so I actually have a website up here. So if you had it going to nellysoto.com, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and you said, hey, visit nellysoto.com in your web browser on your phone, notice up top there, it tells you to download David Offutt's app. So it actually say download Nelly Soto's app when they went to your actual Zap website on their phone.
Mm.
Okay. That's number 2. Next, if you go to the app and you click on the client, again, if you hit those 3 little dots at the top, this is my favorite way because I think the easiest way is to send it via text. So you can do share my mobile app via text or via email. But I recommend text because you know when they text, they're right on their cell phone. It's going to take them right to their app store.
Okay. And last question from me.
Yeah, keep them coming.
I've had clients say, I'm trying to search on your site or your search tool, but I can't, it says I'm prohibited from that area. Is that because I'm not, who controls what can be seen on my site? And I'm sure Central 21 does, but like, for example, Mass and New Hampshire license, sometimes.
So I just have to go in and take a look at your territories, which I will do. You can see on my screen here, I'm sending myself an email. I will look into that tomorrow afternoon for you.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
So the only thing I'll have to do is just expand your territories a little bit.
Okay, good.
Rob, don't we set that up ourselves?
We have to do something on the back end when it comes to that.
So in other words, if I put in the 20 zip codes that they ask for,
That doesn't affect because we have to go in the back end and just make sure you're associated because
Okay.
the way it works, because some agents cover more areas than others. So,
okay.
you
Yeah.
know, each office has a default, but where Nellie covers so much area, I think Nellie, you're under Salem now. So you might be just given like the radiuses around Salem. So what we want to do is we want to go in and make sure that we extend it to the areas that you also cover. So we can do that. It's easy. Any other questions, guys?
Not for me. All good, Rob. Thank you.
Great training.
All right, awesome. Well, if you guys need anything, I know once you get in there and start playing with it, that questions are going to come up. Continue to reach out to me. I'm here to help you guys with everything you need with Zap. The more people I can get utilizing Zap and taking advantage of it, the better we're all going to be. So let me know how I can help you guys out. And with that being said, guys, have an awesome night.
You
Thank
too,
you.
Rob.
Thank you.
All right, take care of everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks.